Hello, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new video. So today we are going to make seed bags, seed satchels. Is a little bit of a DIY. Now I have a little sewing box where I keep fabrics of things I cut off a long time ago. I cut off some pants, and this is perfect to make a seed bag. Two ways you could do it. You could just stitch a line there and then close this up like so. Immaculate seed bag. Or you could cut the seams out of each side and just close it together like that. These bags are going to be for seed bombs though, so I don't need them too big. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going to do them, and I'll show you a good trick for how I'm going to keep them nice and secure together. So let me see what's the best way to construct these. You know what? I'm going to go and get a button. I think a button's going to help me here. When hasn't a button helped someone? I've got this lovely button, but you can also create buttons at home with some air dry clay or a mix of blended paper clay. Very possible. I'm going to get a button to keep mine kind of closed together, just because I don't want to do too much sewing today. I was going to do it the folded way, but I'm just going to cut one down the side like so, and then sew the seam shut. So let's see. How we're gonna do this. Let's move our stand there out of the way. We've got our things. You're gonna need a pair of scissors, a button, maybe an old pant leg or armhole sleeve, wow, or a strip of fabric. You're going to need some thread and a needle. Okay. And I'm going to make a nice and lovely seed bag. Now, my seed balls are usually about this big, about the size of my hand. See how many you want to fit into there by holding up to the fabric. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I want roughly maybe 6. So this is something that you tie to the side of you. So we're going to have it make 6 and see how it would bunch. So I'm gonna have it start down here. Cut. Thinking about a little bit of seam allowance and such. This does not have to be perfect, at least in my opinion. Now I'm gonna turn it inside out to prepare for sewing. Okay. And with a pant leg or a shirt leg, you've already got your side seams that are very tight. Now we're going to thread our needle. As you can see, there's already some thread on there. I like to double thread just in case. So we're going to, about the length of the garment. I'm going to make it a little longer just in case. Always go longer instead of shorter with your threads. And then I take the two, I've got a scratch. I take the two ends, if you can see them, the two ends, like so, and I hold them together like that. I wrap them around my finger. I loop them through like 3 times. Okay, and then I start to close it a little more, and then I make a knot at the bottom of the, I guess it's considered kind of like a nurse's knot type deal. So it looked like that. I'm not a professional hand sewer, but... And then There's plenty of ways to do this, to make it tight or to make it loose. I want this seam to be quite tight, so I'm gonna do it. Hopefully you can see. Do I need more lighting or something? That's better probably. I'm gonna start at this side and I'm going to push up first. See if my knot works. My knot works, okay. Push down. I'm just gonna do it like this. Really close together. Just up the needle. Do like 3 or 4 stitches at a time. Very simple, nothing too complicated. Try to stay straight. Try to stay going straight. Try to go through both sides of the fabric. Without missing a beat, as they say. Don't leave the gaps between too long. But if you wanted it to be stronger, you could sew one like this, and then you sew like this, and then you sew the next one through the last stitch with the double like this, through the last one, to make it very tight, close together, so that you don't even have to think about it coming undone. But I don't mind resewing things. I like hand sewing. It's be very helpful if you have a thimble. I usually don't have a thimble because I never think about buying sewing supplies until I'm about to sew something. So, while we're sewing, we can have a chat. What do you all think about certain products? So recently I was watching a is it Ray Bizzle or Shay Bizzle? Oh, I don't even know. I was watching her video, if you know who it is. But this particular person was talking about a electric toothbrush. I have a lot of teeth problems, so I'm always at the dentist. Now, she didn't purchase this particular electric toothbrush because its claims of being bamboo weren't necessarily all the way true. It was a plastic sort of body with a bamboo sort of print on the front, and then the head of the toothbrush was bamboo. And I'm like, ooh, that's so groovy. To me, I'm gonna buy that. But she's like upset. She's like, oh, I feel lied to, girls, you know. She's just like not gonna buy it. But she's buying the heads for the toothbrush that she's got at home. And I'm just like, I don't really mind that much that it's plastic. I mean, I think these middle ground sort of products, when it comes to being kind of half sustainable, half not sustainable, I think they're just as important as the full-on sustainable products that are coming out, because they give a little bit of a place for people to try certain sustainable things out without feeling so alienated from their usual sort of shtick, you know? I think it's cool, and I think it's like little baby steps sometimes. And so I'm going to purchase one and try it out. And the heads of the electric toothbrush are bamboo, and they should be compostable. So I'm definitely going to try it out. The needle wouldn't go through. So I'm going to take it back through this thread. And just, take it back through this thread. This is just going to be on the inside, so I'm taking it underneath the thread like that and pulling it through like that without catching the end, but like that, and just doing that. I'm going to stitch it down. until it's tight and secure, and then I'll tie little knots because it's all gonna go on the inside. So I'm gonna tie similar knot like I did in the beginning, just now with the needle. Okay, and then snip, like so. Okay, so we've got the bottom sewn on our pant leg. I'm gonna turn it right side in, see how it looks. Does it look funky, chunky? Looks like a little bag to me. I could hold some seed bombs. So what do you think? Like that. And then I'm gonna try and figure out a way to either sew a button closed like that or like this, which I think is more the vibe we're going to, or maybe some yarn or something. I have some really big doll needles that can maybe do that. Maybe something like that. So what makes this a seed bag? What makes this not just a little sachet video is that if you're working any sort of thing with like dirt and stuff, you know that a lot of dirt products, especially like seed bombs, even if they're grinding through, they will expel some dirt. And after a while, you might just end up with a bag of satchel of dirt. So what I'm going to do is make little slits for the seed balls or whatever we got going on, so that any extra dirt can just come through down the bottoms without collecting in here. Because like you could have this pouch, like ideally you're walking around the woods, maybe you don't want to have too many things. Me, I herb gather a lot or things like that in the spring and summer, and so I would just have this tied onto my belt loop or to my belt or something with my foraging knife, and I just wouldn't want it. I don't know, I have a problem with that, with like moss and dirt ending up in my pockets, and just like they're having so much dirt to where I have to like turn my pockets inside out and clean out everything. Instead, I'll just have little slits, keep the dirt from building up. And even if a few seeds fall out, it's like, okay, we're seeding while we're going. So I'm gonna make a few slits at the bottom. I'm gonna make little V shapes. So I'm gonna cut like that, or they'll look like diamonds, I guess. I'm cutting like little triangles out. At least I'm trying to. Maybe I need a better scissor. These are like kitchen scissors. I'm just gonna cut that out. Boom. A little soil hole. So I'm gonna cut a few of those around the bottom, and then we'll start sewing the top. Okay, so we've made the little holes, if you can see them. This one has some random uneven holes, but it is what it is. I like the organicness. Now I'm gonna make some slits up here for this twine I found, and I'm going to sew a little button for the twine to kind of wrap around, because I didn't feel like looking for a yarn, so I found this twine. So I'm going to make these little slits too, and then we'll thread the twine through. So we've got the little holes at the top. Now we're going to thread our twine there. Okay. Twine, let's face you down. I don't know which side I want to be the front yet, but I think this side, I guess, then, huh? I'm just gonna have it end there. Always cut a lot more than you think you'll need. not, I'll just redo it and use it to bind up some flowers or something. Okay, and boom, seed satchel. Now, what I'm going to do differently with this one is I'm going to put a button here to help it stay tied on. So I'm going to get the needles ready. Okay, so I just finished and I just sewed on the button really quick because I don't want this video to be too long. A lot of my videos are long. And I don't exactly sew on buttons correctly all the time. So this is what it looks like in the end. And so you would pull your sachet close. I'm going to trim these little things. Tie it or whatever, like so. And then you just wrap it around your button. And then this can go onto your belt, onto your body, onto your neck, you know, wherever you're putting it, onto your belt, right? And so it's got these little holes in it if you want to be Johnny Appleseed and spread your seeds all over the place, or if you've got your seed bombs in these, and it'll help shake out some of the dirt if any dirt grinds off onto you. So this is your seed bag with little holes, basically a sachet with a little secure button and some holes. So, boom, Solar Punk DIY. So that is our DIY. Here is my satchel here. I still haven't cut the strings yet, but it's a little crooked, it's a little funky, but it's a little DIY doodad, and I'm happy about it. It's very cute. When you're on your walks and stuff, you don't want to carry too much stuff a lot of the time. I might carry my trowel or just my foraging knife in my satchel full of seeds or whatever. And that's what I loved up for. So this was another great video with Honey the Solar Punk. Let life imitate art, and goodbye. Use your seed bag.